Hey guys, you saw the title and thumbnail. Today, I'm going to be showing you that you, with any level of redstone experience, can build a 3x3 door. This isn't going to be a tutorial, um, because there's plenty of those out there, but it's going to be a bit of a guide, except for this first door. I have 3 planned out, and this first one is a classic 3x3 layout. All 3 of these are layouts, meaning that they contain only the door blocks themselves within the walls of the doorway and the pistons that move the door blocks. Nothing I add from here will be directly responsible for moving the door blocks in any of these doors. And that is what designing a door is about. Because building a door means you can use a tutorial, but designing like this means that you come up with most or all of the ideas on your own. For this one, I'm going to be using a design that I've used a lot before. It's just going to have something a little like this piston with an observer that sends pulses to the top and bottom pistons. And it will have a piston at the bottom here. Next, there will be a repeater here on 4 ticks. No, it only needs 2. Even just 1 maybe. That feels a little funny. Then we put 2 torches like this, a down-facing observer, a block, and another repeater. There is a 2-tick repeater here. I'm adding more delay than I think I need right now because I'm never too certain when I'm designing this 3x3. This is also the 1 wide 3x3 that I usually make, but it's not hopefully going to be the exact same as the one I've already designed. It's probably going to be very similar though. So there's going to be a 3-tick repeater here. There's going to be this and this block. I should try to explain what happens here. So when this piston here is retracted, and it will be retracted because the input lever is right here, though you can always switch it out for a repeater or even a redstone dust line that stretches to a more reasonable input somewhere in the wall around here, 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 or here. Once this is off and this is down, this here repeater will receive a pulse, which will then make it spit out its block. Then that'll happen. What happened there was this here extended, as you can see, and then after it extended, it sent a pulse into this repeater and then into this one that had already fired a moment ago, which caused these 3 door blocks to close up. Next will be the closing, where this piston extends and it captures this block down. This piston will retract, which will allow for the double piston extender to then work its magic. And I'm going to start on that right now. Right now I have some of the double piston extender. This is about what it should look like. I'm going to put a torch here once I find it. That's going to cause this to fire off. So I'll just break that block. Maybe I don't even need to. And then we need this here. And I think I'm going to move it one block down for a 4-tick repeater. This 4-tick repeater will feed into a comparator pulse extender right here, pointing the same direction as the repeater. And this is a very small but a very effective pulse extender for this door. And from this repeater and pulse extender, there will be a couple more torches just as soon as I figure out how they should work. Because right now, it's looking a little odd. This isn't supposed to be on right now. The double piston extender should never stay active. Because what the double piston extender does is it extends, and then right after, it is supposed to retract. I think I can just do this. And to finish off this door, we can take a torch and another torch just to move into these other pistons. I'm going to do something I usually wouldn't want to and just put some redstone on top of these pistons. Normally, I try not to do this just because it doesn't feel aesthetically pleasing to me in my doors. Though I'm not sure redstone in general is ever supposed to look aesthetically pleasing. Not unless it's a very specific scenario. Looks like that was retracted. Or not retracted, but that door block was out of place. But now, I think this door is operational. The thing about designing a door, though, is that it doesn't always work first try. And if this one works first try, it is because I've designed a lot of 3x3s. So if you have a job, your first door is pretty much guaranteed to not work. Ooh, I don't have a job, but it still didn't work. Now, to fix this, I'm probably just going to do that. Looks like that could work. I don't know, though. That looks fine. It closed up perfect. See about that opening, though. Ooh. And perfect opening. So just a minor adjustment like that can sometimes be all you need to fix your door. I didn't even break or place any blocks to fix it. All I did was change the delay on a repeater by 2 ticks. And I should also add that a one wide 3x3 like this is pretty much the default for my designs because of how far I've come in making 3x3 doors. But no one's first 3x3 is ever going to be 1 block wide, not of their own design. Maybe you'd build one by a tutorial, or you'd watch me carefully as I design this, and you build this. I only expect this to work in Bedrock, but it could also work in Java. If you play Java and you see this video, you could test that for me. Next here, last one was a classic style 3x3 door. This here is a 3x3 speed door. It's meant to work faster. Well, the layout's designed to move the blocks into place faster than the classic action. And it might be the fastest possible one. At least it's definitely the fastest for Bedrock, as far as I know. Now, this one won't be one wide because I don't have as much experience uh, with these speed doors. But I'll see what I can do to make it one wide, just to try to flex on you and all that. So I can do this, and this. I doubt that I'll make this one wide. But if I do, then you know what YouTubers always say about leaving a like or whatever. So this wouldn't work in Java because of QC. In Java Edition, these pistons are a little funky, and this redstone dust on top of here would cause this here piston to extend. But since I'm playing on PlayStation, I'm lucky enough that that won't happen. Now, the way this door will work is first, these two single pistons will extend, which is what this wire here is doing. After that, you'll get this here back piston to extend, which is a little interesting if I want to make this one wide. Definitely not impossible though. I don't want to make this video 5 hours long. I'm going to make it 3 wide, like a sane person. Let's see. I can move all this back, though, real quick. There. Once I've done that, and I can put that redstone dust there. I can actually break this now. And there will be a couple repeaters right here. And once I do this, it'll close the door up completely. The idea behind this is that there are no pulses in the closing and very few pulses in the opening, which allows the door to just have piston extensions. I'm going to close this back up for now because the easy part being the closing has been made fully. Now I'm going to put an observer here, and you can see that fired. I'm just going to break this block for now. That's the best place to put an observer to make that piston fire, which we're going to need. I think, pretty sure I want this. First, I'll actually want to make this here piston fire with an observer. And this can fire, this has to fire sooner than the other, or else it'll break the door. Because if this fires before this piston behind this block, then it'll cause it to go up like this, like you saw a minute ago. I believe what I can do is actually put a dropper here. That got a little silly, but I think this works. Oh, yep, okay. Now the problem you saw there was that this piston retracted while this piston was extended during the pulse, which means that this piston wasn't able to take the other piston and move it back because a extended piston is a unmovable object. To fix this isn't too bad. I'm going to put a redstone dust here, and I'm going to put a couple more blocks once I figure out what they are. And actually, I could get interesting here and do something like this, I think. This is really theoretical. Not too sure about this, but if it works, it works. Let's try it. That's definitely something. Why didn't it work? I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna get rid of that for now. Okay, that's closed, and now when it opens, hopefully, yup. Okay, that looks good. Let's see. The problem during opening is that this here observer is not getting enough delay into it. I'm pretty sure. So to fix that, it's going to get a little interesting, I think, because we have to snake some redstone along here. But just to get some delay onto there, I can probably just do that, potentially. And you can see those two pistons here have extended now that I connected them along with it. Nothing to panic about. Looks like it still needs a little more delay. I want to just add another observer because I can at the moment. I am seeing this right, I think. Yeah, it's not going. Okay. So I definitely got to take more drastic measures with my delay. I'll need a couple observers for this. No, a couple repeaters. Something along those lines. This could work. Maybe. I don't feel too confident about that, but I'm just designing a door, so that's interesting. I don't quite understand what happened there. It didn't even... Yeah. Now what it's doing is a little different. What it's doing wrong. Let's just make sure that this works. Okay, yeah, it doesn't. I really want to make this too wide. What does a man have but dreams? And I think I just thought up a way. The idea is more repeaters and observers. Because more repeaters and observers will always fix your problems, I promise. Oh, it didn't fix my problems. That's interesting. I don't really understand. I'm gonna get rid of this so that it's just what I've done and see if that helps. That definitely helps. So I'm just gonna keep answering my problem with more repeaters. It's tough to explain why, but this door has been showing me that when I don't activate this, it doesn't pull this piston away and into there before it's able to pulse. Which means that, once again, hard to explain. Ooh. I think I did it. Like I said, all your problems will be solved with more repeaters and observers. Just like this. Because I understand exactly what I'm doing all the time. That's interesting, isn't it? Okay. Huzzah! I have found nothing. Another... I don't even know. Am I just not giving this enough time? Shouldn't really need more time. I mean... Oh. That's really weird. I don't often make doors that behave like this. If you're copying doors right now, don't copy this one because it's probably going to troll you a lot. If you comment the exact reason why this door is acting weird, then I'd really appreciate that because Comments are always good for the channel. Let's see. I'm just going to do this real quick. Nothing new. Just going to go back to what worked before. Yeah, huh? Oh, that's different, isn't it? So it's a consistency issue. Yeah. Has that been the problem this whole time? I think that's been the problem this whole time. Okay. That's interesting. It's just a consistency issue because of the delay I put in. I'm going to do the exact same thing I did before, now that I changed the delay on that there repeater. And I'm going to hope that it works perfectly. Because that is what redstoners do. That closing seems to be fine. Didn't break that. Oh, and the opening is buttery smooth. Look at that, one little repeater tick. It's all it takes to make your door not work. Let's close it back up. And now I can fix up this part. Let's see. I'm just going to put these here. This should work just fine. Oh, right, this gotta be a torch. Invert the signal that goes into this piston. And then once you've inverted it, you gotta send about that much delay, because it's got to go second to that. Oh, and before I forget, let's bring this around the back. I really didn't want to go 3 wide, but there's too much in my way. So we're just going to wrap it around here. I'm going to break all your hearts. And 3 wide it is. This needs about that much delay, I'd say. You don't need that. Then you just want to get a signal over from around here to that observer. Something like that. Maybe this. And this should work perfectly. Definitely. Absolutely nothing is going to go wrong here. Let's get it. And open sesame. Oh, pretty close. Let's see. Yep, the piston went down. It just forgot a little something. Oh, that's what's up. That block was missing. One block. All it takes to make a functioning 2/3 of a door. And the other third is right around the corner, isn't it? And that should function perfectly. Not in Java, though. You try to build this in Java, and you will fail. I'll just do that. And now it works perfectly. The signal strength up here needed a repeater because it was reaching its end right around where this repeater is now. But now we have a functioning 3x3 door, and it's a 3x3 speed design. Could be a little speedier, so I'd say I just do that. But that feels a little dangerous. Ooh, still works though. All right, here's your 3x3 speed door, 3 blocks wide, a little more than 3 blocks tall. Here's your 3x3 classic. And today you're going to get a bonus door. Here is a layout that I came up with on my own because there are many different ways a 3x3 door can move. The main idea, of course, is just that you have 8 blocks that can be one block away from closing and opening, and then the center block, which is 2 blocks away. Here for this door, I gotta get my memory in place, but I believe I can do this and this and even that. Then I can do this. Yep. So this will retract. This will retract. And then this will pulse. Then those two will retract, followed by a pulse from here. And then the rest of these are just one piston extensions. Let's see how I designed this door. I've designed a couple of speed doors. I've designed a couple, more than a couple classic doors. But it's not every day I design a layout that is a little bit more interesting to me. I'd say that if I had to give a layout like this a name, it would just be an intriguing piston door layout. So, if I remember correctly, we start off with a pulse here, an extension here, an extension here, and then an extension here. And then during the opening, retract, retract, pulse. Retract, retract, pulse. Retract, retract. Saying it sounds completely alien. I'm sure it's not the only thing I've said that sounds completely alien this far, but nonetheless we build. Let me just focus real quick. I'm going to start off with a quick 2-tick there. This will just be where the input is. And it'll be responsible for that little movement there. Don't expect this to be one wide. I know that this looks awfully familiar, not from here, of course, but from here. But an intriguing door like this is likely never to be one block wide. If it is, though, I already told you the last time I said the last would be one block wide. Let's just see. That's the pulse. Honestly, though, I think the pulse here would do better upside down. Like that. And I'll put this here. Torch here, actually. See, when that retracts, it'll cause this here to pulse, this here to pulse. And then it's got to cause this to extend. Like that. And then finally, it's got to cause this bottom here to extend, which is probably where this goes from being 1 wide to being 2 to 3 wide. I'd say I recommend, if you'd like to design doors, I'd recommend that anyone with an interest in this definitely goes for intriguing and funky layouts like this, just to make sure that the process never becomes dull or anything like that. I don't want to put this right next to this lever, so I think I'll just switch what side the lever's on. And put a torch there. That'll do. Okay. So what happened there was this here extends and retracts before this. It needs to extend first, but not retract first. To fix that, all you got to do is add some more repeaters, like always. The answer to your problems is repeaters. I'm going to do this just to make me more comfortable. Boom, 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 boom. All right, and then like that. That's what we want. Oh. And then one of the first things this door can do is we can take this and just make a line from this dust. That extends from these 3 all the way down to this right here. It's not too long, I believe. Yep, we're good. That looks good. Okay. So now that we have the opening No, we have the closing and a little bit of the opening. What I want to do next is I'm going to send a quick pulse to this piston right here. Maybe just with this, using a dropper. Like that. Because a power dropper, well, when you power a dropper or unpower it, it will update an observer, and the observer will send a pulse to things like pistons. Let's see. Looks like that didn't work. Oh, that's interesting. So, what I gotta do, I do believe, is keep this extended a moment longer with a little something like this. All right. What do we got? It's definitely interesting. I'm gonna do that. And then I got options here. I think it'll actually be better to power this from above. And then add a little more delay here. We'll see what happens. Oh. Okay. Let's just see that one more time. Ooh. Isn't that something? I was kind of wondering if that would happen. And to fix it, I'm just going to do that. That should work. Usually the difference is a tick or two. Whew. So, that doesn't look like it does anything. I'm a little curious about an arrangement like this. Could work. Also, might not. Ooh, what happened here? I'm going to do that. That's a little worrisome. In order to stop it, I can always just have an active piston here, just to keep it from getting pushed. That looked like it worked. Next, I can take the pulse that way into this, and I can feed it one way or another into that there piston. This is definitely overkill for repeaters, but more repeaters never hurt. Ooh, they're fighting. Yeah, definitely overkill. You saw how that was sitting there a minute before it got retracted back. Maybe that? That looked good. I'd say this. Mm-hmm. And then to finish it off, I will put an observer here. No, I can't do that. And put it here though. And I'll just put a little snake here of observers. These things create a bunch of delay, a bunch more than I'll definitely need, but nonetheless, top 2/3 of this door appear to be operational. The real question is, what happens if I retract this, allowing this to break itself if it needs to? Oh, hey, it broke itself. Someone clip that. I don't know. Maybe that? Mm-hmm. I don't want to have to do this. Maybe that. Ooh. That looked good. All right. So now we're ready to finish this off. A block here, a block here. Redstone dust. Redstone dust. Repeater. And figure out where I can power this from. What do I want to do? Let me see. I'll throw a couple repeaters in. Some glass for transparency. That pulse doesn't look too good. The pulse won't hurt the door though. Check this out. Wow, the whole thing doesn't work. Okay. More delay. Oh, looks like we're missing just one more as well. Let's throw in repeater, dust, and we're just looking to power this piston. Something like that. Boop. Simple enough. This door here is what anyone's first door should be expected to look like. It's just more likely to be a classic type of layout with a funky kind of size. And a funky size is nothing bad in a door. If your first door isn't big, probably bigger than this, then it's probably not your first door. Not unless you've watched a lot of tutorials and actually learned how the doors work before you go and build your own. That's odd. That most certainly doesn't go there. This is going all kinds of weird. Let's try that. What happened? Same thing as always. Alright, funky door is going to get a piston here. We'll make it a regular piston. Oh, we're coming up on an hour. PlayStation just gave me a notification saying my video is an hour long. But, does the door work? Oh. Wow. Ain't that something? So, put that there. And just to punish it more, a redstone block. Or alternatively, a redstone torch. Putting immovable blocks in my doors always makes me uncomfortable, though. Makes me feel like I did a bad job, you know? It still doesn't work. If this becomes an hour long and this door doesn't work, just know that sometimes you'll spend an hour making doors and not all of them are going to work. I don't know. My timer's counting down. And it's not showing me any mercy. I don't quite understand. I got about 2 minutes left. No, 1 minute. 60 good seconds to figure this out. But if I don't, maybe someone in the comments can. I'd really like that. We got some noises going on in my apartment, and the video's just about over. So, to remind you, classic, speed door, intriguing. You can build these. You can build a 3x3 because I consider it to be the